What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video of the Dynasty Dweebs YouTube/podcast. Today, we're going to be going over all the divisions of the NFL, and we're going to be picking what team we think wins, and we're going to be saying the MVP for the fantasy from each of the divisions. And today, we're joined by Nick from P2W Fantasy. What's up, Nick?
What's up? Thanks for having me on again. I was looking forward right away after our first time talking to the next time I got the call, so I'm happy to be back on with you guys.
Yeah, man, love to have you. So you guys just want to start with the AFC North?
That works for me.
All right, so in that division, for everyone, hopefully everyone knows, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, and the Browns. Who do you guys think will win the division?
I think it's pretty clear that everyone's going to be expecting the Ravens to repeat as the champions of this division again.
I think it's kind of close for me, like with the Steelers and the Ravens, just because of how good they did last year, just with like the defense and having a terrible quarterback. I'm going to say the Ravens, but I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as significant of a win for the Ravens. I don't think they're going to repeat a 14-2 season. I feel like that was kind of miraculous. I mean, I think they're a great team, but it's more like you expect like a 12-4. And you lose a couple more games, and then the Steelers might be the wild card team at 10-6 kind of thing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting with Big Ben back if everyone's healthy. How they're going to fight for that division. I know some people are high on the Browns just because of all the weapons they have, but what's kind of slept on from the Ravens is how good their defense is, and they just added Queen to their roster, and I think I read something that they have like 6 games that they're at home in September through October. So I'm going to go with the Ravens too. But I agree. I think the Steelers are going to put up a fight now that they have their quarterback back.
Yeah, and I guess it really only matters, like, if you win the division, it only matters if you win the playoffs. And I saw Nick from Notorious Fantasy tweeted today that Tim Tebow has more playoff wins than Lamar Jackson.
Doesn't Tebow only have the one against the Steelers in the playoffs?
It was a great win, though.
You're right. It was that overtime.
That was amazing.
First play touchdown.
Yeah, the one throw. Yeah.
Yep.
But Lamar's also only played 2 playoff games. Like, I hate that. That's so stupid to me. But,
okay. So my MVP is Lamar Jackson. Honorable mention. I'm going to say Joe Mixon over Nick Chubb, but that's my honorable mention for this division.
Yeah, I think the obvious go-to MVP is going to be Lamar. The guy I think could really step up. I want to
give us your hot take.
I just want to. I mean,
say it.
I'm really interested to see what Lamar does if he ends up being super tight end dependent again next year, or if he kind of starts to utilize more of his deep threats with Hollywood. Right. We'll see if he ends up with all his injury kind of nagging injuries he had throughout the last year. If he comes into the season fully healthy, will he be utilized more? Yeah. And if there are other rookies from last year, Miles Boykin, get more targets and whatnot, or if the rookie this year, Devin Duvernay. I think it's going to be I think Mark Andrews is going to get the bulk again, and with Hayden Hurst being out of the room, it just kind of opens up the field for him even more.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with the thinking about Hollywood Brown, especially knowing that like him and Lamar are boys off the field, and they're hanging out, throwing the ball to each other all the time, and that is an interesting point. I'll go with the obvious choice of Lamar Jackson, and I know a lot of people are 50-50 on Chubb because of Hunt's presence, but I think with Stefanski, who is the offensive coordinator from the Vikings, being the head coach now, and to see how much the Vikings ran the ball and how successful Dalvin Cook was, I'm going to go with Nick Chubb having a huge year, even if Kareem Hunt gets a lot of attention. So that'll be my second choice there.
Yep, I agree with that. All right, let's go into the South. I'm sure we're going to have a bunch of different takes on this one. So we got the Texans, the Titans, the Jaguars, and the Colts. The winner I chose is the Colts. I don't think the Titans win it this year. The Texans. Who won it? Was the Texans or the Titans that won last year?
Texans won it.
Titans
were the wild
I just
card.
think the Texans without D-Hop is a completely different team. I think that the one player does make a huge difference, especially when it's DeAndre Hopkins. And I really do like Phil Rivers on the Colts. I think that they needed a veteran presence on this team with receivers like T.Y. Hilton, Paris Campbell. You have great running backs. I think they can pull it out.
I think this is a really tightly contested division, and there's no clear winner. I think the Titans are my favorite to win the division of all 4 teams, because the Jaguars as a franchise are kind of always in shambles, and they really sell most of their better players, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The Colts with the aging Phillip Rivers is kind of yet to be seen what's going to happen there. So the Titans are kind of the most put together team, I feel like, at this point, and have shown that they can upset teams in the playoffs, and I'm sure they can ride out some more momentum because they finished so strong last year. That they have a kind of decided Tannehill is going to be the guy, A.J. Brown getting an extra year, Derrick Henry being the absolute tank he is at running back. I think the Titans are going to win the division, and Derrick Henry's probably just going to be the MVP of the team and the division.
All right. I also agree that the Colts have gotten a lot better. I mean, even on the other side of the ball on defense, they have arguably the best linebacker in football, some may say, with Leonard, and they have some other pieces there. But with JT coming to town and Phillip Rivers there, that's a good team. But I'm going to go with the Titans as well, just because they went to that championship AFC game last season against the Super Bowl champs, and I don't think they lost a lot. I think they have A.J. Brown is going to get better. They have a full season at Tannehill. Derrick Henry, they're going to probably run into the ground again because they want that playoff run. So I'm going to go with the Titans on this one.
Yep, I agree with that. I see how you guys pick the Titans. My MVP is Derrick Henry, and honorable mention, I'm going to say Leonard Fournette. I think that he's really slept on this year, and I think he's going to have a really good year. Top 10 running back this year for fantasy.
My honorable mention would probably either be DJ Chark or David Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna also go with Derrick Henry, and I think that not that we want to continue to talk about QBs all the time, but I'm gonna ride with Deshaun Watson, showing the league that he can still get it done without D-Hop on the team. So I'm gonna go with him as my second person.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the offense without D-Hop and see what how much they utilize Brandon Cooks and all the downfield threats. It'll be interesting.
I think they have a bunch of serviceable wide receivers if they can actually play.
Exactly.
Will Fuller,
it's the most fragile team in the NFL, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So hopefully we have some controversy here. AFC East, Bills, Patriots, Jets, and the Dolphins. Oof. Actually, we're probably going to pick the Bills, I think. I don't know. I picked the Bills, and my MVP was Josh Allen. What'd you have, Jim?
I think it's obvious that the Bills are the front runner for the division at this point.
But is that who you think will win? I mean, or do you think that one of these teams gets it done?
No, I do think the Bills is definitely going to win the division this year. I definitely see New England taking a step back, even with the best coaching staff. I just don't think they have the on-field talent at this point. I think Miami is going to surprise a lot of people. I really love what Brian Flores has been doing and how he's coaching this team, but I don't think rookie Tua is going to put them over the hump. I think Bills have a really put-together team, and they know their identity. Hopefully Josh Allen keeps improving. Mm-hmm. So I would expect the Bills to win the division. And
is your MVP also Josh Allen?
I don't just want to – I feel like it's almost a cop-out saying the quarterback, honestly. But it's like when you have between Mahomes and Lamar, it's kind of obvious. I'll go with Stephon Diggs. I'm really –
he'd be my honorable mention, honestly.
I'm really looking forward to see what he does as the number one guy in Buffalo. And especially with a guy like Josh Allen who wants to throw the ball as deep as possible all the time.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bills winning the division too. They added Diggs. They also added Zach Moss, which will be interesting to see, like, if he just takes on that Frank Gore role and, it's him and Singletary is 1-2 backs, probably Singletary more so. see if Dawson Knox steps up at tight end too. So as far as MVPs, I think, I would roll with Josh Allen. I agree with the Diggs take too. I think a surprise to people, and a lot of people are down on this guy. And I think I'm not even going to think about these other divisions. This will be the last time I'll talk about a quarterback, I'll say. But I think that there's a chance that Sam Darnold surprises some people because the O-line has improved a lot. And now they have a couple guys that can play wide receiver, where in the past it was like Crowder was like his number one target. And Crowder's serviceable, but now that he's got Perryman added and Denzel Mims and Chris Herndon's coming back at tight end, I think this is going to be the year that we either continue to rip on Sam Darnold or he breaks out a bit. So that'll be my maybe surprise guy.
Right. I can definitely get behind the Sam Darnold thing. I think this year is a really big kind of, I don't want to say make or break because he's still really young, but I think this is the year the Jets are really going to want to see an uptick from Sam Darnold. They're going to need him to see. I know last year he had the mono. He sat out a couple games, but I think that this year that we need a little bit of a breakout is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. So last division of the AFC West. And I don't want to get cute here. I'm going to say the Chiefs are going to win the division again.
Mm-hmm.
My MVP is Pat Mahomes. Honorable mention. I'll have two, actually. I'm going to throw Josh Jacobs, obviously, out there. He's definitely the second best. You want to own him. And I want to say Philip Lindsay. I think Philip Lindsay's hugely slept on the Melvin Gordon team, but I think Philip Lindsay still has RB2 value on this team, on the Broncos.
Well, the Chiefs, obviously, I think are just going to repeat and be a huge Super Bowl favorite. Obviously, Mahomes is the MVP. There's no question about it.
Byron,
honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
It's obviously Josh Jacobs, but I also think Eckler is someone you can't leave out.
Yeah, I'll agree with the Chiefs. I'm not going to try to reach on that one to win the division. I know some people are very high in the Broncos now that they, have added a lot of pieces and they got a good defense too. But
team.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go away from Mahomes. He'll be the MVP of the division, but I'm gonna go with what you just said. But I'm gonna reverse it. I'm gonna say Eckler is gonna be the MVP of that division. Okay. Outside of talking about Mahomes, and Josh Jacobs will also be the number two or the second option if I was to not talk about Mahomes. I'm actually very high on Eckler next year, and I think he finishes RB4 this last year, even with Melvin Gordon coming back. And there's a chance that he, is their go-to guy, even if he doesn't run the ball all the time. I think he's gonna be the absolute man. So
Eckler's very McCaffrey type-esque of player.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that we could see those. He's a PPR monster.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one I actually had a hot take for who wins the division. NFC North, Lions, Packers, Vikings, and Bears. And I chose the Lions. I think the Lions are going to win the division. They haven't been to the playoffs since the curse, right? They were cursed a long time ago. But I think that this is the year the Lions get it done. Matt Stafford.
I just want to remind you, they were 3-12-1 last year.
Listen, just hear me out, man. Matt Stafford, Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones, T.J. Hawkinson is going to be a beast this year. They got DeAndre Swift and Kerryon Johnson. This is a good team. I know the defense isn't very good, but I think this whole division, man, it's kind of broken. It really is. The Packers are overhyped. They got crushed by the freaking 49ers last year. Absolute embarrassment. Embarrassment. It was so bad. And the Vikings were a little confused with where they're going with. They lost Stephon Diggs. We got to see Justin Jefferson step up. Dalvin Cook isn't signed. And the Bears are just they have no idea what they're doing. They don't even have a quarterback set for QB1 right now. My MVP is Dalvin Cook, as long as he signs.
That's TBD.
Wow. You bring up a lot of fair points. The division looks...
It's open, man.
Yeah, it looks 100%. A lot. From looking at it, just how you explained it, I definitely see why you think it's a lot more wide open than I originally thought. And I do agree with that. But I still think I will take the Green Bay Packers.
Honorable mention also A.J. Dillon. If anyone saw that picture today of him shirtless,
I did.
holy shit, that dude is
My-
freaking huge. You see the
my
side by
brother-
side of him and Leonard Fournette? Oh my god.
My brother texted me and he said, "Why is A.J. Dillon gonna steal Aaron Jones' job and our girls at the same time?" So I was concerned.
Yeah, and every red zone carry that you ever watched a Packers game.
Yeah.
So Jim, did you have your MVP for that?
I think Devontae Adams is the MVP if he can stay on the field.
All right.
But dark horses, I don't want to even say Dalvin Cook's name right now because of the whole situation that he's contract dispute. So the dark horse is going to be David Montgomery.
Okay.
I really expect a way better year. I think there was a lot of hype around him because the Bears organization was really hyping him to be this monster guy who can break tackles all over the place. And then they didn't really. I mean, he got a decent amount of carries for the Bears, but I can expect the volume to go up this year and him to be a more efficient runner.
I
agree too. So I am in a suburb of Chicago. So if I go on here and I don't say the Chicago Bears, anybody who watches it's going to give me a lot of shit. So I'm going to just go with the Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
Defense is very good. I mean, they were on the field way too much last season. So I'm hoping that a few things change on the offensive side of the ball. I'm pretty sure that all of Chicago is kind of over the Mitch thing right now. I think it wasn't really his fault necessarily for some of his performances, but it also was at the same time because he's very inconsistent. So I know Nick Foles ain't the sexy quarterback, but if he's healthy and improves the passing game, and then they start using David Montgomery more than he was, I think they improve. And I'm going to take them to win the division. And I might be regretting saying that now, but we'll see down the road.
Well, they definitely have the pieces. Like, I'm not worried about the defense, and the pieces on offense. I don't like. Do you have Montgomery, Cohen, Allen Robinson, and Anthony Miller is still like slept on here, and I think he'll step up a lot. And then hopefully, is the Bears only tight end like the honorable like name like
they have like
the rookie
10
they
tight
drafted
ends on the roster.
I know, but like who else is there?
They have
though?
Jimmy Graham. They signed.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham's a vet, and Cole Kmet was my favorite tight end in that draft class, and I think he should have some value, but might be like a later sort of thing.
Most tight ends really don't see value in their first couple years.
I didn't understand the Trey
They're
Burton
late
thing.
bloomers.
The Trey Burton thing, I never got that. He just never.
He's a Colt now. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
My MVP though of that division. I'm a huge fan of Kenny Galladay. He was a touchdown leader last year without having Stafford. I think Stafford's going to have a great year. Going back on what you said, I'm a huge DeAndre Swift fan too. But I'm going to go Kenny Galladay for the MVP, and then Devontae Adams is second for me.
All right. Stacked division here, NFC South. We got the Saints, the Buccaneers, the Panthers, and the Falcons. I'm Saints fan, so I'm going with the Saints. MVP, Michael Thomas. Honorable mention, Tom Brady.
This division is so
It's going to be awesome to watch.
messy.
This one and the last division we just went over is going to be all – because it's anyone could win. I mean, I'll rip the Panthers a little bit in this one, but –
the NFC South division games are going to be the most exciting to watch. So I feel like they're all just going to be complete shootout games.
Dude, yeah.
It just looks like on paper you have guys who want to sling the ball and put up a shit ton of points. I think the Saints are going to repeat. I have to imagine the Saints and the Buccaneers are going to be the ones really competing for the division / wild card spot. So I think Michael Thomas is going to be the MVP. He's basically going – I don't see him dropping wide receiver 1 if he remains anywhere near what he did last year. But obviously the other guys you have the number 2 receiver, Chris Godwin, basically in your division also.
Mm-hmm.
And I could totally see Chris Godwin end up being better with Tom Brady than Jameis. I think he really could improve.
We'll see.
I think it's going to be a really interesting division, but the Saints are going to be the better team.
Yeah, they were 13-3 last year, and Teddy Bridgewater obviously is a good backup, and he's a starter now. But I think having their quarterback back healthy for a full year, and their defense is very good. I couldn't see, maybe they don't go 13-3 because other teams in their division have improved, but I still think that they win the division. And I got to go with McCaffrey, obviously, from the Panthers there, because I still think he's going to get a ridiculous volume. Michael Thomas is still going to be Michael Thomas. So, they're probably 1A, 1B instead of a 1 and a 2 for MVPs. So, yeah, those are two obvious guys for that. I love me some DJ Moore. We talked about him last time. I like DJ Moore better than Chris Godwin, and I know a lot of people will fight me on that one, but that's just one of my takes. But
interesting.
I am interested in the NFC East when we talk about this right now, and what everyone's going to pick. So we have the Eagles, the Giants, the Redskins, and the Cowboys. And I honestly hate this division so much because I literally think it's like a 25. It's like an even race. But I think
the NFC South's closer than this one.
Yeah, right.
I think.
But like they're like it's close for them on an elite level, and it's close for these teams on like a mediocre level. So I choose the Cowboys just because they're the most stacked on paper. My MVP is Zeke. Honorable mention. I'm gonna say Darius Geis.
Oh, all right.
It's just like I
hope they
fade
there
AP a lot this year, and it's Darius Geis. I know he's gotten hurt twice, but like third time's the charm, man. This is it.
Yeah, it's the career-ending injury now.
It's make or break, literally. Did you say the boys too? Because I wanted to say the Giants, but I couldn't pull the trigger on it.
That'd be rough.
This is so hard to actually. I think realistically, I could see like any of these teams going like 7-9 and winning the division.
That's what isn't that what happened last year?
The Eagles went 9-7, Cowboys 8-8.
9-7, yep.
I think the Cowboys are the best team on paper as well. I think Zeke is the MVP or Saquon, kind of whoever you prefer. I think standard Saquon's probably better, and I would take Zeke PPR maybe. I don't know.
It's opposite for me. Saquon PPR, Zeke standard.
And then you also have Miles Sanders, who I'm not high on, but there's so many people I see that are absolutely in love with him.
Crazy high end.
But yeah, we did our mock draft, and he went right after Josh Jacobs.
Yeah,
it was a robot, but still.
Yeah.
I just feel like the Eagles are going to end up finding a veteran run, whether they try and get like Devontae Freeman or somebody else to break up the workload, or they just give it to one of the backups they have there already.
Yeah, I'll probably take the Cowboys too. Eagles, though, they actually have some wide receivers now to utilize, so that'll be big for them. And
they catch the ball.
Yeah, we'll soon find out. They got two deep threats, so I don't know if they got a solid possession receiver because Rieger and Deshaun Jackson are like just run verticals all day, but we'll see. But I'll take the Cowboys. They got so many weapons on their offense. I'll also take Zeke as the MVP over Saquon, but Saquon will be my second choice on that, just because I think Zeke's got such a cushion because they have a good line, they have great wide receivers now, and he's got not the whole focus is on him as it will be probably for Saquon. So.
All right, so do you guys, I'm assuming it's Eagles second for you, and then who finishes last, the Giants or the Redskins?
Redskins,
yeah. Redskins.
I think Redskins will be good in 2 years, though. I think
they have to figure out the quarterback situation. And if Dwayne Haskins doesn't improve from last year, it's going to be back to the drawing board.
He lost some weight. Allen. He lost some weight.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? About throwing more than 87 yards in a game.
Chill. NFC West. Rams, Seahawks, Niners, Cardinals. Okay, 49ers, I guess. I would love to see the Cardinals somehow pull us out and win this division because it would be freaking legendary to see them win it. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's like pretty low chances. My MVP is DeAndre Hopkins. Honorable mention is his quarterback, Kyler Murray.
I think this is a division where you really have a lot of another tough time debating because I could see. I don't think the Cardinals are there yet. I
see the Rams finishing last.
See, I think the Rams are going to have a bounce back year. Personally, I feel like
it's a coin flip. I think coin flip.
They could be really good or really bad. Yeah.
But are you picking the Niners to win though?
I'm picking the Seahawks.
Okay.
All right.
Respectable.
MVP. I'm going to go with a shocking one, DK Metcalf.
Oh. Damn. All right. Do you have a second person?
Wait, is that your honorable mention or MVP?
No, MVP. I think DK is going to come out of the breakout everywhere this year. I think he's going to be phenomenal.
He broke out last year somewhat.
I know, but like you could still argue.
He's going full blown.
I think you could technically argue Tyler Lockett could be perceived as the number one option still.
Yeah,
he'd be kind of my honorable mention. Like people are sleeping on him so hard. Like the value, like we're gonna get him in the draft is really, really good. I think.
Then other than that, I think the other MVP, obviously, I'll just go with DeAndre Hopkins. He's been such a safe pick always, and I see nothing changing.
It'll be interesting to see with Hopkins just because I think the passing volume was a lot more with the Texans with Watson than the passing volume was there with Kyler. If you look at the actual attempts from last year, like Kyler was good, but I mean, there weren't necessarily like a big pass heavy offense. So that might be a little bit of a change. I'm going to take the Niners just because their defense is outstanding. And I think they added pieces to offense. They got solid tight end in Kittle. MVP, I might go with Russell Wilson because he was getting MVP votes last season. And if DK takes a huge jump and they still have Lockett, I think he'll be excellent still. Second, that's a tough one. Part of me wants to say Kittle just because of the volume, but I know they also don't like throw the rock a lot, but it might just be Hopkins just because of the talent level that he has. But there's a handful of guys that can jump out in here. I wrote a little like tweet thread about Chris Carson recently, and if he's back 100% healthy, maybe he has a solid year, especially since Penny ain't coming back
Big
right away.
Carson guy here.
You are or you're not?
Oh my God, I love Chris Carson.
Yeah, people sleep on him though because like I like made a tweet thread the other day and I was like he was like fifth in this, he was fifth in this, and he missed a game. Like his volume's like crazy, and people do sleep on him.
I mean, I think some people were worried about the fumbles he had last year, but I think that's kind of an anomaly.
Per carry.
Hey, but he still finished like didn't he like running back 11 or something?
Yeah, his numbers are awesome. Don't worry about
so
fumbles,
I mean,
honestly.
Who cares
Who
cares if he fumbles? Right. He's still almost an RB1.
All right,
but everyone's like,
yeah.
They have so many. They're like, they just drafted another running back, and they got Rashad Penny and this and that. And I'm like, they had Penny for a while, and I mean, this new guy coming in might take some touches, but I don't know. I think he just slept on. I'm not saying he's going to be like the MVP, but I think he's like the most slept on in this division as far as like what his talent is and stuff. So
he's guaranteed to be a top 15 running back, I think, almost.
If he's healthy, I'd say.
Right.
So too. Yeah.
They love giving him the volume.
Before we finish this up, I know we're really far out, but let's just do our Super Bowl predictions.
Oh man!
All right, so
way too early.
I mean, you might as well. We're picking division winners here. We might as well go all the way. All right, so I'll pick the Saints to win. I mean, not win the Super Bowl, get to the Super Bowl because they will not have to play the Vikings with Stephon Diggs this year. I know he did make that big of an impact in the game last year, but he is the kryptonite, I think, to the Saints. The AFC, I'm not picking the Ravens. I'm going to pick the Chiefs, the Saints and the Chiefs. Chiefs go back to back. Saints win it.
I'm looking back at this list right now. I'm like, got to make a decision.
I just want to throw something different out there, but like the safe is just like, yeah, let's go Chiefs in the AFC and let's just go like 49ers Saints.
All right, let's go through. We'll do like what we think, and then we'll do a hot take. Go ahead, do what you think, and then we'll do a hot take.
Chiefs, and I'll just say Seahawks for fun.
Seahawks,
and then the Chiefs win.
Okay, back to back for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually take your guys' home state Ravens.
Okay.
And the NFC side, I kind of want to take something different than the 49ers. Or the Saints. I might just say the Cowboys are gonna make a.
You didn't want to say that one for your hot take. Your hot take one.
And maybe it's my hot take one.
It's a hot take and a prediction.
All
right. All at once. But I like the Ravens a lot. I don't know if it's just because I have Lamar in like one of my biggest dynasties or what the case is, but hopefully the stigma of him like not winning in the playoffs, which is kind of shit anyways, because if you think about it, his first year as a rookie, he didn't even start the whole year, and then he kind of gets thrown in and stuff. And this past year, I think they kind of choked a little bit, and I was predicting them to win it all this past year from kind of after a week or two. But yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens as the Super Bowl winners too.
All right. My hot take. I'm gonna go Bills.
Ooh.
We'll go Bills, and go Lions.
So
Bills and the Lions. All right.
Hey, you heard it here first if it happens, man. That's as crazy. I mean, it's not that crazy.
I just got my first ever Lions jersey the other day. I got a Swift.
Yeah, I saw your Swift. Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I regret that or not. But I mean, it's like $20 from China or whatever the case is.
Exactly.
So, fuck it.
All right. Hot take. Browns in the AFC Championship.
Okay. Who are they playing?
It doesn't matter who they play. They're just in the AFC Championship.
No, I say Super Bowl. Are they making the Super Bowl or not?
No, I'm saying they're in the AFC Championship. That doesn't mean they win it, but they're in it.
All right. Do you have a hot take for the NFC? That you honestly think they'll come? Dude, there's no way. I would honestly bet my life the Browns don't make the AFC Championship.
It's a hot take.
Well, here's a hot take. If Baker still sucks this year, will Case Keenum take his place somewhere during the season?
I think that's possible, 100%.
I was wondering that. I said that to somebody, and he got like super mad about it. But I said,
if
Baker,
Case Keenum's proven.
He's got all these weapons, and if he sucks still, I mean, I liked him out of college, but if he's bad still, and they got all those weapons, throw in fucking Case Keenum.
Yeah, like really, like Case Keenum, like he's won playoff games, and it's just like, dude, everyone it's like, come on, dude, give Baker a pass. Like it's only his third year. Like,
they blame the head coach all the time too. They're like, it's because Freddie Kitchens was a shit head coach, like this and that. And I'm like thinking, I said, man, at one point he's got Chubb in the backfield. He can throw the ball to Kareem Hunt. He's got OBJ, who maybe was banged up, in Landry, and then.
Now they have Hooper and Njoku too.
Hooper, I loved Hooper. I don't know if I like the landing spot, but I like Hooper a lot.
No, I hate the landing spot. But maybe he's like Gary Barnidge 2.0, dude. I remember Gary Barnidge was like the hottest tight end on the Browns. That was like 3 years ago, I think.
Hey, I don't remember can't even think about who that is either. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for our division picks. Thank you, Nick, for joining us. Make sure you guys check out his Twitter. I'm going to link it in the description.
Yeah. thanks for having me on again. Always fun to jump on the pod with you guys.
Yeah, man. We'll have you on again soon. Everybody, please like and subscribe. Peace.